Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet.
Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into a time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Westerns and crazy on a Tuesday with episodes of Gunsmoke, Fort Laramie, Jimmy Stewart as the six-shooter, and Arch Oboler's plays, which take us to Crazy Town. And we'll wrap it all up with some more crazies, The Couple Next Door. That's coming up next here on this Tuesday. This is the 20th day of May, 140th day of the year, 225 days left till we get to 2026. Shakespeare's sonnets were first published in London on this date in 1609, perhaps illicitly, by the publisher Thomas Thorpe. President Lincoln signed the Homestead Act into law on this date in 1862. Levi Strauss and Jacob Davis received a patent for blue jeans with copper rivets. The first public display of Thomas Edison's prototype kinetoscope was shown at Edison's laboratory on this date in 1891 for a convention of the National Federation of Women's Clubs. Cuba gained independence from the U.S. on this date in 1902. Tomas Estrada Palma became the first president of Cuba. 1916, the Saturday Evening Post published its first cover with a Norman Rockwell painting, Boy with Baby Carriage. In 1916, the small town of Caudell, Kansas, struck by a tornado. Incredibly, the same town hit in 1917 and 1918 on this exact same day. Now, at 7:52 on this date in 1927, Charles Lindbergh took off from Roosevelt Field in Long Island on the world's first solo nonstop flight across the Atlantic Ocean, touching down at Le Bourget Field in Paris at 10:22 the next day.
Aviation has not gripped the imagination of the world solely because man at last found a way of flying. Its fascination lies far more in the changes it is bringing about in existing methods and policies. Possibly the most important effect will be on international relations. When measured in hours of flying time, the great distances of the old world no longer exist.
A radio address from Lindbergh from August of 1930, in which he called for global uniform air regulations. It was on this date in 1932 Amelia Earhart took off from Newfoundland to begin the world's first solo nonstop flight across the Atlantic Ocean by a female pilot, landing in Ireland the next day.
Perhaps I'm prejudiced, but to me it seems that no other phase of modern progress contrives to maintain such a brimming measure of romance and beauty coupled with utility as does aviation.
The irony not lost on a lot of people that Amelia Earhart took off to begin that solo nonstop flight across the Atlantic by a female 5 years after Charles Lindbergh performed the same stunt. Earhart lost in 1937 during an attempt to circle the globe, last seen over Howland Island in the Pacific, presumed dead. In 1940, the first prisoners arrived at a new concentration camp at Auschwitz. And in 1949, in the USA, the Armed Forces Security Agency, the predecessor to the National Security Agency, established. 1954, Chiang Kai-shek selected for another term as President of the Republic of China by the National Assembly. In 1972, President Nixon and Henry Kissinger departed Washington to meet with Soviet officials.
We do expect to make some progress. And the progress that we make, we trust, will lay the foundation for more progress in the future, in which two great peoples, the Russian people and the American people, can find a way, despite philosophical differences that are very deep, despite competitive positions in the world that are quite different, can find ways to live in peace in the world.
Nixon would become the first president to visit Moscow and only the second to ever visit the Soviet Union. In 1983, the first publications of the discovery of the virus that caused AIDS in the journal Science by Luc Montaigne and Robert Gallo, both individually. And in 1985, Radio Marti, part of the Voice of America service, began broadcasting to Cuba. Cuba, of course, did everything they could to jam it, and in the process of jamming and trying to jam Radio Marti, also devastated a number of radio stations across the nation, particularly in Florida, but in other parts of the world as well. 1989, the Chinese authorities declared martial law in the face of pro-democracy demonstrations, setting the scene for the Tiananmen Square massacre. That massacre is something that the Chinese deny happened to this date. In 1992, Virginia executed Roger Coleman for the sexual assault and murder of his sister-in-law, Wanda McCoy. Governor Douglas Wilder let Coleman die, that despite a court appeal, public pressure, and numerous statements, such as this one Coleman made through the media.
I am bitter, I'm angry, I'm frustrated, but those feelings aren't going to do me a damn bit of good. So I'm trying to suppress them, and I'm trying to stay focused on working to prove my innocence.
In the end, he could not prove his innocence. Roger Coleman executed on this date in 1992. The final episodes of Cheers aired on NBC on this date in 1993.
This is the best day in the history of Cheers. Nothing could go wrong today.
Hey, everybody. Di and I are together again.
Kelsey Grammer and Ted Danson on the final episode of Cheers. 93 million people tuned in. Supreme Court ruled on this date in 1996 in Romer versus Evans against a law that would have prevented any city, town, or county in the state of Colorado from taking any legislative action, executive or judicial, to protect the rights of gays and lesbians. It was on this date in 2006 Barry Bonds tied a long-standing record.
Here's the 1-1 pitch to Bonds. Swung on, driven, deep right center field, way back, no doubt, and Barry Bonds has hit number 714. He tied the Babe, and there was no doubt about it.
That was homer number 714 for Bonds, who would a year and a half later make it to 762 home runs, a lifetime record that stands today in Major League Baseball. In 2013, an EF5 tornado struck the Oklahoma City suburb of Moore, Oklahoma, killing 24 people and injuring 377 others.
Our car's in where our house was. Everything's gone.
One of the victims of that devastating tornado that flattened 1,100 homes. Passing away on this date in history, Gilda Radner.
I like to make people laugh a lot, but I like to laugh even more.
Is this cheddar cheese?
No, that's Chevy Chase.
What?
Chevy Chase.
Oh, I must have the wrong number.
Yes.
Never mind.
When I look at that tape, I can't help but think how great she was and how young I looked. Gilda, we miss you.
Oh, her wonderful characters, Emily Latella, Rosanna Dana, Candy Slice, Baba Wawa, and Lisa Lupner. Such wonderful characters, and of course there's Steve Martin getting the gag on the late Gilda Radner, passing away on this date back in 1989. Also passing away on this date in history, Pope John the 21st, Christopher Columbus, the Macho Man, Randy Savage, oh yeah. Also Robin Gibb, and the insider trading scandal stock trader Ivan Boesky, all passing away on this date in history. Birthdays today include First Lady Dolly Madison, also William Fargo, one of the co-founders of Wells Fargo and Company, Jimmy Stewart, and I guess it's ironic that on his birthday we're going to play an episode of The Six Shooter, Israeli General Moshe Dayan, comedian George Gobel, and there you go. Also, Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea co-star David Hedison, the Dr. Death, Jack Kevorkian, and not a pro wrestler, no, he was a real medical doctor that helped with assisted suicide. Lots of controversy over that. And Joe Cocker, all born on this date in history.
Hi, this is Jeff Foxworthy. It is now time for the birthday announcements. The following people are now officially older than dirt.
And among those still with us include Anthony Zerbe. You remember him from License to Kill and the Omega Man. He's 89 today. Cher, do you believe she's still alive at 79 and dating people a third her age? Cher, 79 today. Take off, hoser. Doug McKenzie from Second City TV. Dave Thomas, 76 today. From the Go-Go's, the wonderful singer Jane Wiedlin, who also got to play a role in Star Trek IV, The Voyage Home, back in 1986, but also a member of the Go-Go's. 67 years old today. Balki Bartolomos from Perfect Strangers, Don't Be Ridiculous. Bronson Pinchot, 66 today. From Star Trek Enterprise, John Billingsley is 65. The grandson of Samuel Goldwyn was recently in the television show Scandal. Tony Goldwyn is 65. Natalie from The Facts of Life. Mindy Cohn, 59. From Deadwood and Justified, Timothy Oliphant is 57. The Road Dog, Jesse James, also B.G. James. His father was the great pro wrestler Bob Armstrong. Brian Gerard James, 56 years old today. He is still working as a utility player for the WWE. Retired racer Tony Stewart, 54 today. Singer-rapper Busta Rhymes, 53. From the Gilmore Girls, The Good Wife and The Resident, Matt Zucri is 48. Rachel Platten, still singing her fight song, is 44 years old today. Country singer John Pardee is 44. And Jeffrey Barathon from Game of Thrones, Jack Gleason, 33.
Everyone is mine to torment.
From Game of Thrones, Jack Gleason is 33. Those just a few of the people celebrating the 20th day of May as their birthday. If this happens to be your birthday.
Hi, we're the Four Freshmen, and we just want to say, Happy birthday to you.
And y'all who like Westerns, you're going to get your Westerns today. We're going to go back to start off with to Sunday, May 20th, 1956. William Conrad as Marshal Matt Dillon in an episode of Gunsmoke.
Instead of going down, the annual rate of polio cases in this country is going up. Instead of growing panicky with fear in the face of such an unwelcome fact, there is a way in which we all can join the Army which is fighting to check this trend and ultimately defeat infantile paralysis. We can contribute to the March of Dimes. Give today so that the 1952 March of Dimes will be the biggest ever and a really potent fighting force against polio.
Now we're going to start off this edition of Classic Radio Theater on this Tuesday by going to 6:30 Eastern Time on Sunday, May 20th, 1956. We will see William Conrad as Marshal Matt Dillon in this episode of Gunsmoke.
Gunsmoke, brought to you by Chesterfield. Chesterfield packs more pleasure because it's more perfectly packed, thanks to Accuray. They satisfy the most. Around Dodge City and in the territory on West, there's just one way to handle the killers and the spoilers, and that's with a U.S. Marshal and the smell of Gunsmoke. Gunsmoke, starring William Conrad. The transcribed story of the violence that moved west with young America, and the story of a man who moved with it.
I'm that man, Matt Dillon, United States Marshal. The first man they look for and the last they want to meet. It's a chancy job, and it makes a man watchful and a little lonely. Come on into the office if you got time, Kitty.
I'd better not, Matt. It's late. But thanks for the supper.
It's my pleasure. It looks like you're going to have a busy night tonight, huh? Front Street's filling up fast.
It'll be busy, all right. 2 trail herds came in today from Texas.
That's money, Kitty. Those boys will leave everything they got here.
They sure go through a lot of misery for the sake of a few nights howl and dodge, don't they? Well, I'd better go start making it worth their while. Say, isn't that Doc's buggy?
What? Yeah, it is. What's that on the seat with him?
Looks like a body wrapped in a blanket.
Yeah, it sure does. Maybe you don't want to see this, Kitty.
No, I'll stay here.
Hello, Matt.
Who's that, Doc?
Well, he must have been a buffalo hunter. I found him on the south bank of the Pawnee near Turkey Bend. He had a camp there, or he did, until somebody came along and shot him.
You mean he was alone?
There was another camp a few miles downriver, but this man was alone.
How did you stop by the other camp?
I figured that'd be your job, man. Bringing him in was bad enough.
What do you mean?
Whoever shot him took his head for a souvenir.
What?
It's not a very nice killing, is it, man?
I'll ride up there tomorrow, Doc.
It don't look like nobody much is around, Mr. Dillon.
There's a man coming out of the wagon now.
Well, now, there is the one longest, skinniest buffalo hunter I ever seen. He looks like a plucked crow.
Well, he isn't very handsome, is he?
Well, there must be out hunting, huh?
Hello. Where's the rest of your outfit?
There ain't but 3 of us. That's counting the woman.
Oh, you got a woman out here?
Abby. She belongs to Ben Siple.
Now, what's your name?
I'm Earl Tix, but I ain't sure I care to do any more talking.
You'll talk. And you can start by telling me if you know anything about the hunter who was camped a couple of miles upriver from here.
I don't know nothing about nobody, mister.
That man was killed, Tix. He was shot. And somebody ran off with his head.
Oh, he done that, huh?
My name's Dillon, Tix. I'm a U.S. Marshal.
Don't turn around, mister.
In the wagon behind you, Mr. Dillon. He's holding sharp as 50.
It'll shoot, too. It'll make an awful big hole in a man. You just stand steady. Get the gun sticks. Sure. It's better. You can turn around now.
Ben Siple, huh?
I'm an alligator, mister. I can treat people terrible.
Like cutting their heads off?
Ain't nobody gonna come into my camp and start saying murder. Not to Ben Siple, they ain't.
If you didn't do it, you got no cause to worry, Siple.
I got no cause to worry. You standing there with a big 50 aimed at your belly. He ain't no marshal anyway.
Now, you look here. You two stop acting so crazy. Didn't you never hear of Marshal Dillon?
There's no sign on him. Where's his badge?
I don't happen to be wearing a badge, Tix.
Go carve some thong out of one of them hides, Tix, and put it to soak. We'll tie these 2 up for the night. Tie them up? Do what I tell you, Tix. Sure. Hello, Abby.
What's going on, Ben?
You get the wash done?
Yeah. I strung it in the brush to dry.
And get to cooking supper. I'm hungry.
We feeding them, too?
No, we ain't feeding them.
Then what are they doing here?
They come talking of murder. I feel like shooting them for it.
No, Ben.
I kill them, I'll make you watch, Abby.
Ben, someday somebody's going to kill you. They got to.
You cook a good supper, Abby. I'm real hungry.
Introducing one of the country's best-known jazz musicians and arrangers, Mr. Bobby Haggart. How about whistling along with him?
Packs more pleasure, packs more pleasure. Chesterfield packs more pleasure because Chesterfield's more perfectly packed.
It stands to reason a cigarette made better and packed better, smokes better, tastes better. And Chesterfield is more perfectly packed by Accuray. This electronic miracle removes human error in cigarette manufacture. So Accuray Chesterfield is firm and pleasing to the lips, mild yet deeply satisfying. Yes, Chesterfield gives you something no other cigarette can give you.
Chesterfield packs more pleasure because Chesterfield's more perfectly packed.
To the touch, to the taste, Chesterfield packs more pleasure because it's more perfectly packed. By Chesterfield, mild, yet they satisfy the most.
Must have been laying here for hours. I just can't hardly move, Mr. Dillon.
Texas is pretty handy at tying people up.
Yeah, but it ain't him bothers me as much as Ben Siple. That man is crazy.
If I'd known how crazy, I'd have taken my chances when he first started talking. Yeah, we're in a bad spot here, Chester.
Maybe Abby can do something. She sure hates him.
Yeah, I know. Now, she's been looking over this way. Hey, wait a minute. She's leaving the fire now.
I hope he don't see her. Look, she's coming here, Mr. Dillon.
Yeah.
You must be right hungry.
It's not food we need, Abby.
I know. But if I cut you loose, he'd kill me.
We wouldn't go off and leave you to face him.
You wouldn't.
Abby, all men aren't like Ben Siple and their old ticks. You can trust me and Chester here.
You're really a marshal?
I am.
I'll do it, Marshal. When he's asleep, I'll do it.
I knew she would. I told you.
Abby?
He's seen me.
Hey there, Abby. Now, what you been talking about, Abby? You been making plans, maybe?
No, I was on my way to the river. I wasn't talking.
You wasn't, huh? Well, I think I'll go to the river with you.
No.
Walk ahead of me, Abby.
What kind of a man are you, Siple? You take it out on me if you have to, but not her.
I'll take it out on both of you.
You dirty dog, Siple.
Oh, shut up. Get going, Abby.
Mr. Dillon, you hurt? Mr. Dillon?
No, I'll be all right, Chester. That man's got a big foot.
Kick a man in the face that way? He ought to be hung.
I'll hang him myself if we ever get out of this.
It don't look too good for us, does it?
No, not now.
That poor Abby. What does she stay with a man like him for?
Yeah, maybe she's never had a chance to get away.
It'd be a miserable enough life without being tied to a murderer.
Be quiet, Chester. Here comes Earl Tix.
Where's he been all this time?
I don't know, but he's moving pretty fast.
And what's the rifle for?
Where's Siple?
Tell me where he went.
What's the trouble, Tex?
Where is he?
He went down to the river.
What for? Siple! Go ahead, Siple!
I'm coming.
You better hurry. We got to get out of here.
What?
What are you yelling about, Tex?
We got to get going, Siple. Right now.
Get going? What for?
Indians. I heard them out there yapping at each other like coyotes.
You sure?
I know Indians when I hear them.
We can't get out of here with that wagon, Tex.
They ain't fighting no Indians over a wagon. Where's the woman?
Never mind her. Let's get our horses and ride.
Oh, what about these two?
Leave them for the Indians.
And their horses, too?
I ain't no horse thief. Come on. Day is breaking, Mr. Dillon.
Yeah.
I guess them Indians will be coming soon. Funny how a man gets to thinking things, ain't it?
Oh, like what, Chester?
Well, like how I'd like to see one of them circuses before I die.
Huh? A circus?
Oh, I spend an awful lot of time thinking about that. Wondering what lions and tigers and stuff like that looks like.
Quiet. Yeah, I guess Tex was right.
I just hope they see we're tied up and helpless before they start planting arrows in us.
Look over there. Just beyond the wagon.
He's got a rifle. He's signaling with it.
And there are 4 more, too. 5.
Look, he's signaling them others to stay back. Fierce looking, ain't he?
Steady now, no more talking.
No understand. You hunt buffalo?
Mr. Dillon.
Buffalo hunter gone. Leave us like this.
Leave you for Pawnee to kill? Why?
We big enemies.
You know hunt buffalo?
No.
We kill buffalo hunter. Pawnee. Teach white man. Leave buffalo to Pawnee. Cut off whole head.
Why they killed that man?
Wait a minute, Chester. Listen. Buffalo hunter want you kill us. Buffalo hunter gone. You know catch now. You let us go, we find Buffalo hunter. Big enemy. We take care of Buffalo hunter for you.
Where's he going?
He's going to have a talk with the others, I guess.
That was awful smart of you, Mr. Dillon.
Maybe, if it works.
It makes sense.
Well, it does to us, Chester. I just hope it will to them.
Looks like they've decided.
And at least it didn't take them long.
Oh, here he comes. He's got his knife out. He's doing it. He's cutting us loose.
Yeah.
It worked. It worked. But he cut us loose and never said a word.
What difference does it make, Chester? We're free. There they go.
Oh, my, it feels good to stand up, don't it?
Yeah, it sure does, Chester.
Look, they ain't even taking our horses.
Well, I guess they figure we can't chase buffalo hunters on foot.
What's that?
Marshal.
Oh, that's Abby.
Yonder she is, laying in them weeds.
Marshal.
Oh, she looks terrible.
Well, at least he didn't kill her. You hurt bad, Abby.
He hit me. He hit me something awful.
Chester, go hitch our horses to that wagon.
Yes, sir.
Marshal.
That's all right, Abby. We're going to take you to Dodge. And nobody's ever going to hit you again. I promise you that.
Where are you listening to Gunsmoke? In your kitchen? Getting ready for Sunday supper? Maybe in your living room, relaxing? Or out driving? Say, be sure and watch the road. But remember, there's pleasure ahead when you smoke Chesterfield. When you satisfy yourself with Chesterfield's better taste and mildness. It stands to reason. A cigarette made better and packed better smokes better, tastes better. And Chesterfield is more perfectly packed by Accuray. This electronic miracle removes human error in cigarette manufacture. So Accuray Chesterfield is firm and pleasing to the lips, mild, yet deeply satisfying. Yes, Chesterfield gives you something no other cigarette can give you.
Chesterfield packs more pleasure because Chesterfield's more perfectly packed.
To the touch, to the taste, Chesterfield packs more pleasure because it's more perfectly packed. By Chesterfield. Mild, yet they satisfy the most.
Hello, Matt.
Come in, Doc.
My, hot today, isn't it?
Is that what you came to tell me?
No, I came to tell you nothing. Oh, except I ran into Kitty down at the depot. She and Abby were watching the Santa Fe come in.
Uh-huh.
They said they might come by and say hello on their way back.
Ah, good.
Oh, my, that Abby's looking better every day, isn't she?
Well, between you and Kitty, she's been getting some pretty good care.
Yeah, she deserves it.
You know, she's already talking about finding a job.
I know, Matt. I think she's going to be real happy. Oh, that's Kitty.
Matt, hurry.
Kitty, what's the matter?
It's that man, that Ben Siple.
Siples and Doc?
Yeah. He came up to Abby and grabbed her by the arm and dragged her off toward his wagon.
Huh?
Chester saw it, too. He thought he'd better stay nearby while I went for you.
Where are they now?
Across the street there, by that wagon.
Now, you wait here, Kitty.
Don't let him hurt her anymore, Matt.
Just been talking to her so far, Mr. Dillon.
Has he seen you, Chester?
No, sir, and neither's Earl Tix.
Yeah. They're in for a big surprise. You keep an eye on Tix, huh?
Yes, sir, I will.
What are you telling me lies for, Abby? You want another beating?
That's enough, Siple.
If you wasn't lying. You really are a marshal, huh?
Abby,
Yes?
you can go with Siple if you want. But if you don't want to, he'll have to kill me first, and I don't think he can do it.
What are you saying? This ain't no business of the law?
Shut up. You make your choice, Abby.
Kitty's waiting for me.
Come back here, Abby. You keep your hands off me.
Siple, you broke a promise I made to her.
What?
I told her nobody had ever hit her again.
You interfering with my right to beat her when I want?
Yeah.
You're talking awful big, Marshal.
Has everybody always been afraid of you, Siple?
They have. And for good reason.
And you're about to lose that reputation, Siple.
For good.
Tex, come here.
No. Get moving like you tell me.
No. You can't beat me, Marshal. It wasn't me done nothing.
Chester'll help you throw Siple under the wagon. Then you drive him out of Dodge, and you keep on driving, Tex.
Oh, I will.
I don't mean for a few days. I mean for weeks. You're through on the prairie, Tex, you and Siple both. So say goodbye to this land. If I see you on it again, you'll rot.
In a moment, our star, William Conrad.
Chesterfield packs more pleasure because Chesterfield's more perfectly packed.
A cigarette made better and packed better, smokes better, tastes better. And Chesterfield is more perfectly packed by Accuray. This electronic miracle removes human error in cigarette manufacture. So Accuray Chesterfield is firm and pleasing to the lips. Chesterfield, mild, yet they satisfy the most.
You know, during the frontier cattle-sheep wars, men used the expression rimrock, meaning to run down or kill. Well, next week, a man tries to rimrock somebody and dies for his trouble. And that was the West. Good night.
Gunsmoke. Produced and directed by Norman MacDonald, stars William Conrad as Matt Dillon, U.S. Marshal. Our story was specially written for Gunsmoke by John Meston, with music composed and conducted by Rex Corey. Sound patterns by Tom Hanley and Bill James. Featured in the cast were Vic Perrin, John Daner, Helen Klebe, and Lawrence Dobkin. Harley Bear is Chester, Howard McNear is Doc, and Georgia Ellis is Kitty.
Live modern. Smoke L&M.
Live modern. Change to L&M.
Yes, have an L&M. No other cigarette you can buy, plain or filter, gives you the full, exciting flavor you get through the pure white L&M Miracle Tip. Through the modern Miracle Tip, L&M tastes richer, smokes cleaner, draws easier. So light up, free up, let your taste come alive. Live modern. Smoke L&M.
Join us again next week for another specially transcribed story on Gunsmoke.
From 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Sunday, May 20th, 1956, 69 years ago today, Gunsmoke. Galen Drake followed Gunsmoke with his program, a 5-minute show, and then that was followed by CBS News and the Edgar Bergen Hour with Charlie McCarthy from 7 until 8 Eastern. Then our Miss Brooks at 8:05, following another report of CBS News. Herb Schreiner's 2 for the Money at 8:30, and then CBS News at 9 o'clock. Then the Mitch Miller Show for an hour, and then Carousel with show tunes and film music from 10 o'clock, following CBS News. News at 11 o'clock with Washington Week in Review following that with Howard K. Smith. But before at 5:30, you heard Fort Laramie, and we'll hear that in a few minutes. But first, we're going to take a look at the news from Sunday, May 20th, 1956, in a moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, last year's traffic death toll was 37,500, a 7% increase over 1950. The National Safety Council believes that the best way to promote safety on the road is for each of us to know and obey traffic laws, to read and heed traffic signs. So be careful. The life you save may be your own.
Thanks for joining us on this Tuesday edition of Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. We're looking at the newspapers of Sunday, May 20th, 1956. Here are a few of the headlines. A double crackdown threatened yesterday to halt a public feud among the U.S. Armed Services, a great dispute over how the nation should prepare to defend itself in the nuclear age. After unnamed sources, evidently within the Army, passed documents to newsmen charging that emphasis on air power could lead only to national disaster, these quick developments, Secretary of Defense Wilson called the public policy row a most unfortunate business and said he would look into it personally, hinting at possible action. He said the armed forces don't have to practice psychological warfare on each other. The Democrat senator from New Mexico, Chavez, the chairman of a Senate Defense Appropriations Committee, warned Congress might cut the funds of the armed forces unless petty jealousies are done away with. He said they ought to quit being prima donnas and work for the common defense of our country. Although the Army-Air Force difficulties are the latest to boil over, there are hot disputes also between the Navy and Air Force. Recently, the Air Force declared the Navy's big carriers could deliver only a small strategic punch. The Navy, backed by President Eisenhower and Secretary Wilson, have pictured its aerial might as tremendous. Adlai Stevenson besting Senator Estes Kefauver yesterday in nearly complete returns on Oregon's Democrat write-in for the party's presidential nomination. The strictly partisan primary Friday gave President Eisenhower a warm Republican ovation, turned up in an unexpected heavy GOP write-in for Vice President Nixon as his running mate, and pitted Democrat Senator Wayne Morse against former Secretary of the Interior Douglas McKay for the Senate in November. In the home stretch of the May 20th presidential primary, candidate Adlai Stevenson spoke to a record crowd of 5,000 or more in Williams Park in St. Petersburg, Florida, calling for a decent program to meet the needs of our 15 million senior citizens. Well, the recent downward trend of Adlai Stevenson's popularity has come to a halt and, in fact, has been reversed in the latest Institute of Candidate Strength among Democrat voters. Gallup poll reporting from Princeton, New Jersey 1 month ago, the former Illinois governor, the number one favorite of 39% of Democrats compared to 33% favoring Senator Estes Kefauver, a margin of only 6%. Well, as of today, that margin has widened. Stevenson's popularity up to 41%. Kefauver has dropped back to 29%. Stevenson now leading Kefauver 148.5 delegates to 127 in pledged and publicly committed delegate votes for the Democrat National Convention. Former President Truman topped off a whirlwind tour of ancient Rome with a formal dinner last night at the residence of the U.S. ambassador to Italy. The host to Mr. and Mrs. Truman, Henry Luce, the publisher husband of Ambassador Claire Booth Luce, who is in the U.S. for medical treatments. White House Press Secretary James C. Hagerty said yesterday President Eisenhower will undergo one of two further physical examinations this year, but could not say if one of them will be prior to the Republican convention August 20th. In Orange, California, two Negro co-eds from Panama at Chapman College have been ordered to move from an apartment because other tenants objected. Congressman Thomas Curtis, the Republican from Missouri, yesterday told the Georgia Republican Convention in Atlanta that the GOP is the real states' rights party. AFL-CIO President George Meany declared in Mount Vernon, New York yesterday that the nation is failing to prepare for a new industrial revolution sparked by automation that will displace millions of workers. And romance and springtime just seem to go hand in hand. Congressional sources say Congressman James Roosevelt, the Democrat of California, intends to marry Gladys Irene Owens, a clerk in his office, in June. His divorce from Rommel Roosevelt becomes final next month. Actor Anthony Steele in Florence, Italy, asserts that Hollywood stories saying curvaceous Swedish actress Anita Ekberg is an iceberg are not true. He intends to marry Ekberg next Tuesday. And in Quebec, Mrs. Paul Emile Tremblay, 33, wife of a laborer, gave birth to her 7th set of twins. That's believed to be a world's record. Oh, nothing to do with romance. The return at Waco, Texas, of Burgess Meredith to the Baylor University Theater's cast of Hamlet after collapsing last Wednesday from heat exhaustion. Those some of the day's top news stories, as reported in the newspapers of Sunday, May 20th, 1956. On your radio, we're going to roll the dial back about an hour, actually, to 5:30 Eastern Time on that Sunday to hear Raymond Burr starring as Captain Lee Quince in Fort Laramie.
Americans have always been noted for their know-how. And you young men in search of a career, you can put this practical talent to excellent use in one of our nation's many engineering schools. At the present time, we need engineers. We need them to maintain our scientific and engineering superiority. So look to your future, to America's future. Plan now to become an engineer.
Oh, the trade's still very, very important. We can always use more engineers. We're going to wrap up our look at Sunday, May 20th, 1956, 69 years ago, by going to 5:30 Eastern Time on CBS for an episode of Fort Laramie starring Raymond Burr and Gold.
At the gallop! Ho!
Fort Laramie. Fort Laramie, starring Raymond Burr as Captain Lee Quince. Specially transcribed tales of the dark and tragic ground of the wild frontier, the saga of fighting men who rode the rim of empire, and the dramatic story of Lee Quince, Captain of Cavalry.
This is as far as we go, mister. That's your line, the creek ahead? You can water your stock there. We'll wait for that and head back. Fair enough. Whoa now! Whoa! Whoa! Slow it down back there. We're stopping a spell.
This the end of the line for us, Captain?
That's what the orders say, Sergeant.
Yes, sir.
Tell the men to dismount and unsaddle, pin graze and water.
Take your mount, Captain.
Yeah, thanks. I want to talk to the driver.
Well, you seen him then, up on the rim.
Yeah, they're keeping their distance.
Ain't every wagon train pushing west gets two escorts, cavalry and engines.
Yeah, of course. I'll tell him.
Dismount and unsaddle, pin graze and water. Dismount and unsaddle, pin graze and water. Come on now. Get over there.
Mind your stock don't take on water too fast. You're planning to stick to the Oregon Trail, driver?
I'd be a plain fool if I didn't. With them engines staring me down from the top of the canyon.
Oh, I don't think they'll bother you. They're not hungry. We butchered some beef on the agency for him last week.
Can't see we'd look too good to him. Kind of mangy-looking outfit, ain't we?
Oh, I've seen worse. You're all right, so long as you don't get any ideas about the old Bozeman Trail.
Well, that's closed now, ain't it?
Yeah, by treaty. That's what's bothering our friends up there on the rim.
They think we aim to cut up to Montana country?
Some of the wagons try it.
Lots of gold up there, ain't there, Captain?
Yeah, and lots of Sioux and lots of Arapaho. It's all Indian country. Bozeman Trail's closed. Forts and posts are abandoned.
I tell you the truth, Captain. I kind of had my heart set and panning myself a fortune or two.
You wouldn't get to the first turn in that trail.
Nope, I wouldn't. I know I wouldn't. Well, had my heart set in my own plot of ground in Oregon, too.
Sure, you'll live longer.
You, going up there to the rim, Captain? Talk to them Injuns?
What for?
Tell them to leave us be.
That's reservation land they're on. They'll leave you be. Long as you set straight along the Oregon Trail. They haven't bothered a wagon train since the treaty.
Well, I can wait till I settle in Oregon. Then maybe drop down to the motherlode country. If I want gold bad enough.
Yeah, if you want it bad enough.
You don't have it, do you, Captain?
Have it?
The itch. The fever that sets on a man. Makes him want to find gold more than anything.
That kind of fever can get you killed, mister.
Yes, sir. I bet it can. Well, don't you worry yourself about me, Captain. Me and this little wagon train are staying right smack on the Oregon Trail.
Good. Oh, I'd watch my stock if I were you. There's alkali in these streams through here. Won't kill 'em, but too much will make 'em sick.
I'll keep an eye on 'em.
Well, good luck to you, mister.
Well, thanks kindly, Captain. We're sure much obliged you rode this far with us.
It's all right. We'll watch you out of sight.
I'd like that.
Yeah, that's if you get a move on. You're wasting daylight at this rate. Valuable stuff out here, mister.
Kind of like gold, Captain?
Yeah, kind of like gold.
The Indians made no move to follow the train?
No, they left the rim of the canyon a little before we did.
You can't be sure they didn't ride on ahead to intercept the train when it was out of your sight.
They weren't headed that way, but I can't be sure.
I keep feeling like we're sitting on a powder keg, Lee. Slightest little jar will blow up to a full-scale war. It's got me edgy.
You got company.
You?
Well, Red Cloud. Why do you think those Indians were lining the rim of that canyon?
I guess they can't believe it either. It's not much of a peace, Captain, if we spend all our time watching them, just to find out they're watching back.
Well, Major, beats killing each other.
You like Red Cloud, don't you, Lee?
Yeah, I like him.
You trust him?
He signed the treaty. Hasn't broken it yet.
Then you do trust him.
I don't think he'll be the one to break the treaty, if that's what you mean.
You think we will, is that it?
No, not we. But I saw something in that wagon train driver that breaks treaties. He called it a itch, a fever. Fever for gold.
You told me you warned him about going up the old Bozeman Trail.
Yeah, I warned him. I don't think he'll try it. But if he doesn't, someone with a fever will. If not the Bozeman, then they'll break new trails up into the Bighorn Range, over into Black Hills.
That's all Indian territory.
We've both read the treaty, Major.
And Red Cloud signed it. So did we. Now, what do we have to do? Read it to every wagon train that stops at Fort Laramie?
You asked me if I trusted Red Cloud. I trust him till the next white man goes into Indian country looking for gold.
Yeah, I suppose you're right.
He got what he wanted. Powder River country, Black Hills for hunting grounds.
That covers everything to the north and east of us.
And we better stay out of it.
Tell that to the men with the gold fever.
I do, when I see them.
Lee, if you were sitting in my chair, what would you do if you had to translate this problem to Washington?
I'd desert.
No, you wouldn't. You'd have a plan. What would it be?
About white men going into Indian country?
We can't protect them.
We'll have to try to keep them from going in.
That's what I want to know. Can we stop them?
We can try. Maybe with official orders we can keep them from going in numbers. If we catch them, lock them up as treaty violators.
And if they persist?
For provoking an act of war, I'd shoot them.
I said you'd have a plan.
All right. I'd start by redoubling our patrols all along the North Platte.
We don't have the manpower.
Let the infantry secure the garrison. I'll take a patrol out right now.
Oh, you just got back. You're tired.
I'm not tired.
All right, the men are tired.
I got another plan.
What's that?
I need a drink.
Why don't you go on over, Captain? Maybe I'll join you later.
Yes, sir, Major.
Why, Lee, I didn't know you were back.
Got back last night, Willa. You the barmaid here now?
Dad's waiting on some trade in the store. Here. Help yourself.
Did I say I wanted a drink?
If you'd come to see me, you'd have come last night.
It was late last night.
That sounded a lot like an explanation, Lee.
I guess I thought you wanted one.
When you see me, it's because you want to see me. That's a good thing to know.
Yeah, maybe it is.
Are you finished with this?
What's the matter? You running out of whiskey?
Almost.
Well, not Pliny. He doesn't run out. Not when he can still get his price.
Oh, it isn't Dad. It's those men with him.
What about him?
What they're not drinking here, they're taking with them.
Huh? Where are they going?
I don't know. But wherever it is, they must expect to stay a long time. Isn't 10 gallons of whiskey an awful lot, Lee?
A couple of drinks of this whiskey is an awful lot.
Say, Willa, you recollect that last shipment of boots we got in? I thought we put them in stock, but I cannot lay my hands on them.
Aren't you going to speak to Lee, Dad?
He can't see me, Willa, for the dollar signs in his eyes.
Oh, well, good afternoon to you, Captain. His glass is empty, Willa.
You offering me a drink on the house, Pliny?
On the house? Oh, well, I just naturally suppose you were buying your drinks, Captain.
Dad.
Of course, credit is available for an old friend like you, Captain. I trust you.
That's your idea of a compliment, Pliny?
Oh, boots. That was it, wasn't it? Of course, boots. I came back here to ask about the boots.
I don't know how you could miss them. They're right next to the cash box.
Oh, my goodness, yes, of course, they must be there then. So you go right ahead, Captain. Just buy yourself another drink.
I don't know what to do about him, except love him, in spite of himself.
Well, you'll never be poor, Willem.
And dowries are still in style, Lee.
Yeah. Maybe I ask for that.
Are you going to have that other drink?
No, thanks.
This one is on the house.
Oh, you don't want to break his heart, do you, Willa? No, well, I've had enough. I'll see you, huh?
Yeah, sure, Lee. Sure.
Yes, boys. Hey, you, soldier. Boys. Hey, you.
You talking to me, mister?
I called you soldier, didn't I?
This a friend of yours, Pliny?
Well, he is spending quite a lot of money, Captain.
Yeah, and I aim to spend a lot more. Maybe with you, soldier boy.
I got nothing to sell, mister.
Well, you might give him some information, couldn't you, Captain? He's such a good customer.
You want to quit bobbing around in front of me?
No offense, no, not the slightest bit of offense, excuse me.
That's better. You want a drink, soldier?
I'm in a hurry, mister.
You must know this country pretty good. I'm looking for horses. Good uns.
You're new here.
New as today.
Most of the settlers around here have horses.
I said good horses. I seen the crowbait they pass off for horses over in Laramie village. I mean good uns. Strong. Take a lot of riding. That's what I want.
Mm-hmm. How many?
Oh, 4, say.
Well, the Suter Ranch is about your best bet. It's a good day's ride from here.
Which way?
West. Due west. You can see the ranch house from the Oregon Trail.
I ain't heading west.
Then south, near Cheyenne.
I ain't heading south.
I can't help you, mister.
You're not trying too hard, are you, soldier?
Hard enough. Pliny, you'd better get your cash customer out of my way.
Now, please, gentlemen, now, no roughhousing. This is a respectable place of business, you know.
I told you, quit bobbing in here ever so often.
I only meant to help.
You got any more shoving around you want to do, mister?
Yeah, kind of forgot my manners. Reckon you'd speak your piece better. You got paid for it.
What are you trying to buy? A cracked skull?
All right. I picked the wrong soldier. What's he so sore about?
Well, he just misunderstood you now. Here, I'll help you pick up your money.
All right, if I sit next to you, soldier.
Help yourself.
You get used to the food in time, do you?
You eating free, ain't you?
It's free enough. You look like a smart man, soldier.
I ain't.
I hear better.
You been talking to somebody dumber than me, then?
Pliny, the sutler.
He put you next to the free meal here in the barracks? That'd be Pliny. Him and me, we're dumb in different ways.
He says you know all there is to know about horses.
I've ridden them, eaten a few. That's all there is to know about them.
Where are the best horses around here, soldier?
Up in the cavalry stables.
I'd like to lay my hands on 4 good ones.
Well, now, you could try, but you might get yourself shot in trying.
I'm talking about buying horses, not stealing them.
I don't think the cavalry's got any horses for sale, mister.
Are you trying to understand me, soldier?
I'm trying harder to eat.
How much money you make a month wearing those 3 stripes of yours?
Now that just plain took my appetite.
A regular soldier makes 50 cents a day. I figure those stripes give you a bit more.
You want to raise my pay? Is that it?
I want 4 good horses. You get 'em for me. I'll see you get better than a raise.
You just passing through, are you, mister?
That's all. Don't worry about the money. I got it.
What are you figuring on using horses for?
Riding?
4 horses for riding.
There's 2 of us. It's hard riding. You won't get the money just asking questions, soldier.
I guess I'd have to see that money.
We're gonna do business, are we?
You got a right price, we'll do business.
This place, you'd get the horses. It'd be near the fort?
Near enough.
Ranch?
If I told you about it, you wouldn't need me. I wouldn't collect that money you're talking about.
You're not dumb, soldier. You're not dumb a bit. Hey, look here. Well, you seen the money.
Well, now, that ain't all money, mister.
How do you mean?
Some of them pouches, they just don't bulge right for silver.
You see real good, don't you?
Anybody tell you there's an assay office over in Laramie Village?
They might have, if I'd asked.
You want some advice, mister?
I want some horses.
You better not be finding gold in Indian country. There's a treaty now that says you can't go in there.
Is that a fact?
Listen, of course, you got permission from the Indians.
Soldier, I got 10 gallons of whiskey. That's a lot of permission. providing I wanted it. Now then, I took your advice. You gonna take my money?
I'd a lot sooner take you, mister.
You going along with me, or ain't you?
I'm going with you, all the way.
Hey, what's the idea?
You just got yourself a military escort, mister, clean through the main gate of Fort Laramie.
Well, Gorse, how'd you keep from roughing him up?
Same way you did, I guess. Pliny and Miss Willis said you went plumb white keeping from hurting him.
Yep. One of us should have busted him. He might have stuck around to preferred charges.
Not this one. He didn't want any trouble, just horses. If I had my way, I'd have stuffed him in the stockade last night instead of throwing him off the post.
Major says you can't hold a man for what you think he's going to do.
You told him about it, then?
Last night, after you told me.
That was gold in them pouches, sure as anything. I didn't have to look inside.
Yeah, sure it was gold. And it was picks and shovels and pans he bought at the Sutlers. I got that much out of Pliny last night.
You're not forgetting the whiskey.
I'm not forgetting.
Like as not, he's got the horses by now, too.
We can't stop him from getting horses, Sergeant. We just don't have to help him. You were smart to hear him out. I should have been a little smarter.
He'd stand to talk freer to me, seeing I'd have more need of money. I had to throw him out before he worked his way any further down the wage scale.
Yeah, I knew a trooper once, deserted, sold his mount, saddle, everything up to his kerchief for $100.
It's the best part of a year's pay. You think the major will stand still for us taking off after him?
Mr. Syberts brings his patrol in tomorrow night. We're not going anywhere till he's back.
That sounds like an order.
Major Daggett's. Can't prove anything going after him, Gorse.
Cavalry patrol, maybe it'd scare him off a little.
Oh, man, that stupid doesn't scare. He'd rather be scalped than be poor.
If he goes in, we can all get scalped, trying to save his lousy hide. Sure like a better excuse to fight a war.
We all would, Sergeant.
Right about there, sir. They were following Rawhide Creek, moving north.
How many men, Mr. Syberts?
2 men. 4 horses, 4 mules. I couldn't tell enough through the glasses to describe what they looked like.
I know what one of them looked like.
We can't be sure of that, Captain. Mr. Syberts, you say you fired a signal at them. Can you be sure they heard it?
They heard it, sir. I never took the glasses off them. And when we fired, they stopped and looked at us. The whole patrol made signs for them to come back.
You think they saw you? Understood your signs?
I know they saw us. One of them had field glasses, too. Kept them trained right on us as they started moving north again.
Huh. Is that all, Lieutenant? That completes your report?
That's all, sir. Except, well, I wish I could have stopped them from going in, sir.
Well, you did all you could, Mr. Syberts.
Thank you, Captain.
Every bit you could, Lieutenant. Now go on and get some rest. That's an order.
Yes, sir. Major, sir? Captain, sir?
All right, Captain. What would you have done in his place?
Exactly as he did.
Glad to hear that. But now you want to go after the prospectors.
I want permission to go to Red Cloud.
To keep them from being killed?
To keep a war from starting. The man I saw knows his chances. Everybody warned him. I got no feeling for him.
I want to think about it, Captain.
While you're thinking, a runner could be on his way to Red Cloud.
I'm aware of that.
And while you're thinking, Red Cloud could be on his way here, in paint and war bonnets.
If he is, a runner wouldn't stop him.
He might. I'd say that's a chance we got to take. The only chance we have got.
If the runner gets through and Red Cloud agrees to powwow with you, what then?
I'll ask him to let us find the prospectors and deal with them our way.
And if he's found them first?
I'll take their bodies off his hands.
How many men do you want, Captain?
Sergeant Gorse.
Just one man?
I want to stop a war, Major, not start one. Red Cloud's not likely to consent to a full company.
The runner will leave the post in an hour. When can you and Sergeant Gorse leave?
Tell your runner we'll try hard not to get ahead of him.
That's Black Hills country ahead, ain't it, Captain?
Yeah, if you can see it, over the war bonnets.
Red Cloud's not taking any chances.
Would you, Gorse?
No, sir, I wouldn't. I just keep hoping they're getting an eyeful of this white flag I'm toting.
There in the hills, they got the best view.
We just keep riding in?
Yeah, as far as the stream. We'll drop our gun belts when we get there. And wait for Red Cloud.
Yes, sir. I guess if I'm going to die in the cavalry, I'd just soon do it with you as anybody, Captain.
You could be back at Fort Laramie, getting rich, selling horses to prospectors.
The air is cleaner out here, as long as it lasts.
The, gun belt, Gorse?
Oh. How could I forget a little matter like that, you suppose?
Yeah. Red Cloud, all right.
2 braves with him. Another couple hundred in the hills.
It'll be 1,000 as long as they stay up there. You honor our flag, Red Cloud. We thank you.
Where is honor in white man for treaty boundaries?
It comes slow to some white men. I came to ask your patience, Red Cloud.
Patience stretches. In time, like an old hide, it breaks and is no more.
Since we smoked the pipe, we've handed over your renegades to let your people deal with them.
Bring white men here. You will deal with them. How?
They're alive?
I did not come here to deliver dead men.
Then they'll be put in the stockade and kept there.
You have been our friend. Tell your people Red Cloud will not powwow again. Next time, warriors not stay in hills. Next time, white men, dead white men.
I'll tell them, Red Cloud. I hope they listen.
Fort Laramie is produced and directed by Norman MacDonald and stars Raymond Burr as Lee Quince, Captain of Cavalry, with Vic Perrin as Sergeant Gorse. The script was specially written for Fort Laramie by Kathleen Height, with sound patterns by Bill James and Ray Kemper, musical supervision by Amerigo Marino. Featured in the cast were Jack Moyles and Harry Bartell, with Frank Gersel, Clayton Post, Howard McNear, Virginia Gregg, and Ralph Moody.
Company, attention! Dismiss.
next week, another transcribed story of the Northwest frontier and the troopers who fought under Lee Quince, Captain of Cavalry. Time was, a man who wanted to get away from it all could hide in the cellar, take a walk in the woods, or go live in a cave. Today's best way is not to hide, walk off, or hunt for a cave, but to join the ground observers. With their eyes on the skies, they're keeping America's defenses manned to serve the cause of peace. See your local civilian defense people. Join the ground observers. 2 hours a week will earn your silver wings. Help America be strong as a deterrent to any possible intrusion.
With Fort Laramie, 5:30 Eastern Time on Sunday, the 20th day of May, 1956, 69 years ago. That wraps up our look at that Sunday here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Now, coming up on our Wednesday edition, we're going to go back to comedy with the 1950 edition of My Favorite Husband, or Miss Brooks, and Phil Harris, Alice Faye, all from that same Sunday in 1950. We'll also have an episode of The Adventures of Archie Andrews from 1949 and a look at the new television set in the Andrews household. On Thursday, we'll have a episode of The Last Jack Benny Show, 1955 edition. The whole gang, plus Mel Blanc, who plays Twombly, the sound man on the show. And by the way, there really was a Twombly. Yes, he was married to Bea Benadera. He was a sound man, and she was a wonderful actress. Also, on Thursday's show, we'll have a 1949 episode, four shows from 1949, with episodes of the Screen Director's Playhouse production of Her Husband's Affair, starring Lucille Ball. That was when her career was really starting to take off. Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis and Fred Allen, all from 1949. That would be that episode on our Thursday show, and the 22nd day of May. Also, now coming up on Friday, we get back to dark things with an episode of Escape from 1948. William Conrad stars as Linigan in Linigan versus the Ants. A 1948 episode of Counter Spy starring Mandel Kramer and Don McLaughlin. Edmund O'Brien as the Yours Truly Johnny Dollar before Bob Bailey took over from 1950. An episode of 5 After the Hour, a Chicago local show entitled Man Without a Face. Saturday, a special episode of Suspense, Weekend Special Death, starring the First Lady of Suspense, Agnes Moorehead. John Dehner as Paladin from 1959. In an Evil Time, Arch Oboler's Plays from 1945, an exercise in horror, and an episode of the show that was Cops before Cops came around, Night Watch, real-life recordings from the mean streets of Culver City, California. On Sunday, we will have the second part of Donovan's Brains, starring Orson Welles. A 1958 edition of Yours Truly, Johnny Dollar, starring Bob Bailey and the Midnight Sun Matter. A 1942 Lux Radio Theater presentation, Test Pilot, with Robert Taylor, Rita Hayworth, and Robert Preston. And we'll start off the new week on Monday with comedy. And my favorite episode of the Fred Allen Show, King for a Day with Jack Benny. If you don't know why it's my favorite program, you listen on Monday. Also, a CBS Radio Workshop presentation from 1957, I Have Three Heads. And it's not a monster. No, it's not. And the Royal Gelatin Hour with Rudy Bally and Judy Canova. That's all coming up the coming week here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Support us at classicradio.stream. Coming up next, we're going to go back to 1954 for the man celebrating a birthday today, Jimmy Stewart, as the six-shooter.
Alert Americans will heed history's lessons. Throughout history, surprise has had a leading role in military disasters. Today, an enemy capable of surprise air attack could leave chaos in his wake. That's why you should be in the Civilian Ground Observer Corps, volunteering a few hours a week to guard our skies. Be a ground observer. Contact your local civilian defense office.
And we're going to stay out west for some more Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox and an episode of a series that could have been very, very popular 2 or 3 years earlier. But as it was, it kind of floundered on NBC. Great radio show, just too late in the game. From 71 years ago, May 20th, 1954, Jimmy Stewart as the six-shooter, or, as our announcer says, John Walsh,
James Stewart as the six-shooter. The man in the saddle is angular and long-legged. His skin is sun-dyed brown. The gun in his holster is gray steel and rainbow mother of pearl, its handle unmarked. People call them both the six-shooter. The NBC Radio Network presents James Stewart as the six-shooter, a transcribed series of radio dramas based on the life of Brett Ponset, the Texas plainsman who wandered through the Western Territories, leaving behind a trail of still-remembered legends.
Keep your shirt on. Keep your shirt on. Bank don't open till 9 a.m. You got 5 minutes to wait.
It's me, Mac Hawkins. I got some news for you, Ollie.
News?
About Wyatt King.
Oh. Yeah, what's happened, Mac?
They got him.
No.
Yeah. Sheriff Hemphill's bringing him into town now. The posse come by my ranch about half hour ago. I took right off so as I could spread the word.
Why, I just can't believe it.
That's right, they got him.
Spud Hemphill capturing the Wyoming Kid?
Yeah.
Oh, not that Spud ain't been a good sheriff, but, nobody's ever been able to lay a hand on Wyatt King before.
Well, the sheriff didn't exactly capture him, Ollie.
Well, I thought you said...
Well, the sheriff's bringing him in, and that's true enough, but the way I understand it, the posse just sort of stumbled onto the kid.
What?
Yeah, that's what they say. He was laying in a grove of sycamores over by Tenderfoot Creek.
Dead, huh?
No, but he'd been shot up some, a bullet in his belly. Must have been hit at close range. He was still out cold when they went past my place.
Spud say who shot him and left him laying there?
Well, they just don't seem to know, Ollie.
Well, he was in mighty good health when he rode out of here yesterday, carting off $2,500 from my bank vault here.
And your money was still on him. No need for you to worry about it.
Good morning, Mr. Owen. I'm sorry I'm late. Matilda had one of her dizzy spells this morning, and I had to wait until Doc McIntyre got there.
Jonas, you hear about Wyatt King?
Wyatt King?
The fella who held me up yesterday.
Oh, why, I thought they called him something else, some kind of kid.
That's right, the Wyoming Kid.
Yeah.
Well, his real name is Wyatt King.
Oh.
Don't you ever read them reward notices down to the post office?
But I just don't remember names very good, I guess.
Oh.
What about Mr. King?
Well, he's been captured.
You don't say?
Yes, the sheriff found him down at Tenderfoot Creek. He was all shot up.
My.
And the darndest thing is, nobody knows who shot him.
Well, what's so peculiar about that?
Well, in the first place, the fellow who done it, he'd stand to collect a mighty nice reward. All them hold-ups King's pulled, well, there must be at least $5,000 offered for him, dead or alive.
My, that sure is a lot of money. Well, I better get over to my desk and start working on the account.
Ollie, That ain't the only strange thing about this here business.
What are you driving?
Well, I told you the kid's been shot at close range. That means somebody met up with him, face to face. He wasn't dry gulched or nothing like that.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
And it would take a mighty big man to stand up to Wyatt King and a mighty fast man to outdraw him.
Yeah, he was supposed to be lightning gunfighter.
There's about 10 graves that'll testify to that.
Sure ain't nobody around here. Well, leastways, I can't think of anybody. Can you, man?
No, can't. Not a single solitary soul. I've been racking my brain ever since I heard what had happened.
Morning, gents.
Yes, sir. What can I do for you?
You the banker?
That's right, Mr.
Name's Ponsett, Brett Ponsett.
Well, I'm pleased to meet you, Mr. Ponsett. I'm Oliver Rowan.
Howdy. I got a little check here. I was wondering if you...
Did you say Brett Ponsett?
That's right.
Well, I'll be doggone.
What's the matter, man?
Why, he's a six-shooter, Ollie.
A six-shooter?
Ain't that right, Mr. Ponsett?
Well, sometimes I guess folks call me...
There. Well, what'd I tell you? Well, sir, I guess we don't have to do no more wondering about who shot up Wyatt King.
What?
Well, sir, we're all mighty grateful, Mr. Ponsett.
Oh, hold on.
If we'd have known you was in these parts, we wouldn't have had no doubts in the first place. No, sir.
I'm afraid I don't follow you.
You're the fellow who shot it out with the King last night, ain't you? Well, it must have been you. It couldn't have been nobody else.
Why, of course it was him, Ollie. There ain't no doubt about it. I said it would take a fast man to outdraw the kid. Well, the six-shooter's just about the fastest man west of the Mississippi from the way I hear it.
Well, that's mighty flattering, but as far as outdrawing Wyatt King, well, I wouldn't know about that, seeing as how we never met up.
Never met up?
No.
Oh, you mean you didn't recognize him last night?
Last night?
Well, whenever it was you shot him.
Now, let's get this straight, gents. I didn't shoot Wyatt King last night or any other time. I've never laid eyes on him.
Well, if it wasn't you, then who did do it?
I sure wouldn't know. I rode down the trail from Fort Drexel. I didn't see any sign of Wyatt King or anybody else.
Tenderfoot Creek's just off that trail.
Is that so?
Well, if Mr. Ponsett says he didn't do it, I guess he didn't.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Sure. Why didn't I think of it before?
Yeah, think of what?
Everybody knows that the six-shooter don't like to take credit for what he does. He's the sort of man that hides his lamp under a bushel. Well, you ain't going to get away with it here in Copper Springs, Mr. Ponsett.
No,
you're absolutely right, man.
Yeah.
Why, shooting an outlaw like Wyatt King ain't nothing to be ashamed of.
Well,
Mr. Ponsett, you ought to be proud of yourself.
Well, maybe I would if I'd done it.
Hey,
the fact
there's
is,
the posse now. Just wait till I tell Sheriff Hemphill about this.
Here now.
Wait a minute, Mac. Wait a minute. I'm coming with you.
Listen to me,
Will
you?
You mind the bank?
Yes, sir, Mr. Rowan.
No, Mr. Rowan, hey, why do you... well, I'll be darned. Well, I never saw anything like it. For the next half hour, folks came up to me from all directions, all saying I'd shot Wyatt King, giving me their congratulations. I told them I hadn't had anything to do with it, but they just wouldn't be convinced. And I didn't see how I could straighten them out on it. It did make me feel kind of funny, though, all this hullabaloo over a misunderstanding. And then when the mayor said something about letting the kids out of school for a day in my honor, well, I just had to find some way of putting a stop to it, so I headed over to the jail, introduced myself to Sheriff Hemphill.
Sir, it's a privilege to meet you, Mr. Ponsett. A real privilege.
Yeah, it's a privilege, yes.
Not that I wouldn't have caught up with King myself sooner or later, but you kind of speeded up the operation.
Yes. Now, that's what I wanted to talk to you about, Sheriff.
Now, don't you worry about the reward. I'll see that you get it.
No, I'm not interested in any reward.
Well, yeah, everybody says you're the generous type. I heard that.
Well, I'm not that generous, Sheriff. Now, I reckon I'd take the reward if I was entitled to it.
Oh, now, Mr. Ponsett.
Sheriff, you've got to listen to me now. I didn't shoot Wyatt King.
I heard you've been trying to ease out of taking the credit.
I'm not trying to do anything except tell you the truth. Now, you ask King when he comes to. You'll find out.
Oh, he came to a little while ago, Mr. Ponsett. Right after Doc McIntyre got through patching him up. He's practically as good as new now.
Well, go on. Ask him if I had anything to do with shooting him.
Well, why should I ask him again?
Again?
Well, sure. As soon as he was able to talk, I questioned him.
Well?
He says you made a lucky draw, Mr. Ponset. Of course, that's just an alibi.
Now, wait a minute here. You mean to say that Wyatt King claims I shot him?
Huh? Well, you're the six-shooter, ain't you? Well, that's who he says done it.
I just couldn't believe my ears. I never laid eyes on this Wyoming Kid my whole life. Though I'd heard plenty about him, of course. All his escapades. He had quite a reputation. Well, Sheriff Hemphill wasn't even easier to convince than the rest of the folks had been, so finally I asked him if he'd mind letting me talk to King. The fellow who'd shot him must have resembled me in some way. At least that's what I figured. And I was certain that once we met head on, the King would see that he'd been wrong.
Well, Wyatt? Huh? This the man who shot you?
Why do you have to keep going over that, Sheriff? I told you who done it.
Yeah, but Mr. Ponset here kind of disagrees with you.
I sure do.
Oh?
Now, let's just get this thing straightened out once and for all, and then we won't have any...
What's the matter with you, Britt? You was ready enough to pull the trigger last night. Why are you trying to lie out of it now?
To pull... Why, you know we've never run into each other before, last night or any other time.
I got a bandage on my belly that says different.
Now, take a good look at me, Wyatt. Now, maybe in the dark you sort of thought that the fellow, well, maybe there was a likeness.
You got a twin brother?
Of course I've got no twin brother.
If you ain't got a twin brother, then it was you that shot me. And it wasn't very dark either. Don't you remember the way we were standing there in the moonlight and the way you went for your gun? The same gun you're wearing right now. I sure ain't likely to forget it.
Well, now, look here, Sheriff. Now, you listen to me. Now, I don't know what's the matter with this kid. He must have gone loco or something, but I give you my word.
Mr. Ponset, we all know how you feel about accepting honors and having folks look up to you. But this is one time you just ain't going to be able to get away with it. As a matter of fact, I believe there's some kind of a doings planned over at the town hall later on this afternoon. After the parade, that is.
The parade? Oh, now, you just hold on here. Now, before everybody starts tearing around in circles, I'd like to talk to Wyatt alone, if you don't mind.
What for?
Well, Just give me a couple of minutes with him, Sheriff.
All right, but I sure don't see what you hope to gain by it. I'll have to lock you in with him, though. Can't take no chances with a man like King. Give a holler when you want out.
All right, King. I want the truth.
Well, I ain't the one who's loco, Ponset. You are. That's a pretty big reward for me.
There's a reward for the fellow who captured you.
Well, as long as I keep saying you're the fella you can collect, I'm doing you a favor.
Well, maybe I don't happen to want any favor from you.
Well, don't look like you got much choice in the matter, does it? Of course, just between the two of us. Now seeing you right close like it might have been somebody else that shot me.
You know doggone well it was.
Well, even if it was, even if I was mistaken about it, I sure wouldn't admit it.
I don't see why not.
Oh, now, Mr. Ponset, you don't think I want folks to know I was outdrawed by a little fellow with gray hair and a pot belly?
Oh, how's that?
A man who nobody's heard of, a grocery clerk or a sod buster. That's what he looked like to me. Why, he even had a ready-made suit on, a coat and pants cut out of the same cloth. Stiff collar. And a necktie. I never supposed a man like him would know how to use a gun. Otherwise, I'd been more careful.
Well, at least we finally got down to the truth, huh? Now, all you got to do is tell the sheriff and we'll
I'm not telling anybody else, Ponset. And I got an idea your telling them won't make much difference.
What?
Not as long as I keep saying it was you that shot me. And, of course, that's what I'm going to say. I ain't got no choice.
Well, you haven't got any reason to lie about it.
Well, now, look, it's one thing to be outshot by Britt Ponset. That ain't so hard to swallow. But the idea of being outdrawed by a nobody, well, I wouldn't be able to face my friends again after I break out of jail. They'd all have a laugh on me. Yes, sir. It sure was a lucky break when the sheriff come in and said you was in town. Yeah. Asked if You was the one that shot me.
You're not going to get away with this, King.
Well, I'm sorry if it upset you, Ponset, but after all, I got my reputation. Your reputation?
Why, I never heard of such a thing.
Sheriff, get me out of here.
We'll return to James Stewart as the 6-shooter in just a moment. Each year, forest fires take a tragic toll, destroying the natural resources that are vital to our nation's strength. Remember, one moment of carelessness can destroy national beauty and wealth that can never be replaced. Forest fires have been called America's most shameful waste because they can be prevented. Don't fail to do your part in preventing them. Don't be guilty of starting one. Now, Act 2 of The 6-Shooter, starring James Stewart as Britt Ponset.
Well, I knew that there wasn't any point in hanging around the jail trying to make Sheriff Hemphill believe what Wyatt King had told me. King was right. As long as he kept insisting that I shot him, I wasn't going to be able to convince anybody of the truth, unless the man who really did shoot him. I was walking down the main street, passing the bank, when I remembered what King had said. A gray-haired fellow with a pot belly, wearing a ready-made suit and a stiff collar and tie. I'd seen somebody who looked like that. I couldn't think where. Where was it? And then I just happened to glance into the bank.
Yes, sir. What can I do? Oh, what? You're Mr. Ponset, ain't you?
That's right.
My, you sure stirred up a lot of talk, Mr. Ponset. The whole town.
Yeah, I know.
Mr. Rowan just stepped out for a couple of minutes, but if there's anything I can do...
You're the teller, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh.
Been with the bank for 26 years now.
You don't say.
The name's Jonas Pilgrim, Mr. Ponset.
Well, pleased to meet you, Mr. Pilgrim.
Of course, if you're in a hurry for something, maybe I could find Mr. Rowan.
No. As a matter of fact, it was you I wanted to talk to.
Me?
Yes. You see, I've just come from a session with Wyatt King over at the jail.
Oh?
And, he told me about the shooting last night.
Uh-huh. Well, that's real interesting, Mr. Ponset. Well, I've got some statements to get out now, so if you don't mind,
And King told me about the man who did it.
Oh, see.
Mm-hmm. It's a funny thing, Mr. Pilgrim. The description he gave me sure fits you right down to that tie you're wearing. And to come to think of it, you're just about the only person in town that does fit.
I don't know what you mean, sir.
Well, you don't, huh? You don't. Well, it was nice talking to you.
Mr. Ponset.
Yeah?
You won't mention this to anybody else.
Well, I don't see what difference it makes as long as it wasn't you he was talking about.
Well, it might be kind of embarrassing. I mean, well,
Just what do you mean?
Well, all right, I'll admit it to you, Mr. Ponset. But you got to promise me you won't tell anybody else. You got to give me your word.
You shot him, huh?
I didn't intend to. I didn't even know who he was. You see, I wasn't here when he held up the bank.
Oh?
I was on my way back to town from Woodard Tolliver's ranch. I'd rid out to tell her that her account was overdrawn again.
Uh-huh.
And this fella, he come at me out of the dark. Told me he wanted my horse. I didn't even stop to think. I just grabbed my gun and let fire. I never should have done it, Mr. Ponset. I don't know what got into me.
You're sorry you shot a man like Wyatt King?
No, not exactly, but well, it's kind of hard to explain. The fact is, I'm married, Mr. Ponset.
Hmm?
And Matilda, That's my wife. Matilda's kind of particular about some things. She's real particular about me. That's why I gotta wear this doggone collar. Just cuts my neck so I can hardly stand it sometimes.
Is that so?
Yeah.
Shame. I sure feel sorry for you, Jonas, but I don't see what that's got any connection
Well,
with
now, Mr. Ponset, if don't you see, if Matilda knew, if I so much as carried a gun, well, she'd just have a conniption fit. And if she was to find out that I used to be, well, kind of experienced at gunplay, why, she'd just raise the roof. I don't think that she'd ever let me get out of her sight after that. You see, I never told her that when I was younger I used to be sort of quick on the trigger.
I'll be doggone. Well, I take it your talents haven't exactly deserted you, huh?
Well, sir, that was the doggonest thing. I wouldn't even had that dang revolver with me, except that Widow Tolliver had given me some money to deposit, and she was real worried about my getting it into town. All right, you see. It was old Smith Tolliver's gun. She insisted on loaning it to me.
I see.
When this Wyatt King jumped up at me, well, I guess some of my old instincts must have come through. Leastways, the next thing I knew, he was laying there in the dirt, not moving.
Yeah, I'll be darned.
Now, mind you, I wasn't a gunfighter in my younger days, but I did kind of manage to shoot my way out of a few scrapes. I guess I don't look much like it now, do I?
Well, a man's liable to do a certain amount of aging, I expect.
Sometimes I think I've done more than my share. Well, anyway, I suppose you can see now why I don't want folks to know what happened last night about me and Wyatt King.
Yeah, I guess you've got a point, Jonas. But I can't go on taking the credit for what you did.
Well, Mr. Ponset, you give me your word on it.
No, I didn't do any such thing.
Well, you sure did. Why, I wouldn't have been telling all this if I
didn't.
What in tarnation? Mr. Hawkins, what's all the rumpus about?
Wyatt King here just broke out of jail.
He broke out of jail?
Yeah, some darn fool forgot to lock his cell. Sheriff thinks he's heading toward Badwater Falls. We're getting a posse together.
For goodness sake.
Well, we won't be needing you, Jonas.
Oh, no. Of course not. No.
But the sheriff was real anxious to have you come along, Mr. Ponset.
Is that so? Well, I'm sorry. I won't be able to oblige.
But you've already captured Wyatt once.
Well, let's just say that once was enough. As a matter of fact, I'm figuring on leaving town. Which way is Badwater Falls?
South. Due south.
I'm heading north. So long. Well, inside of 5 minutes, the whole town of Copper Springs had ridden off in a southerly direction. The male population, that is. I guess Jonas and I were about the only two men that hadn't joined up with the sheriff's posse. In a way, I was kind of relieved that King had broken out of jail. At least I'd be able to leave town without any more of this foolishness about me capturing him. Oh, not that I ever wanted a fellow like King to go free, you understand, but I figured the posse would probably catch up to him pretty soon. He couldn't have had much of a head start. So I headed over to the livery stable to get Scar. I'd already paid for his keep in advance, but the man who ran the stable had gone off with the others, and I didn't feel like sticking around for the refund. Easy, boy. Easy, Scar. I looked around for his saddle. It was lying on the floor over by a pile of hay. And just as I picked it up, I noticed something funny about the hay. It was starting to move.
Just keep holding on to that saddle, Ponset, and don't reach for your gun.
Wyatt.
If you make a move, I'll ram this pitchfork right through you.
Oh, you're crazy, Wyatt. You'll never get out of town.
There ain't nobody left in town to stop me, except you.
You got a wound in your belly. That'll stop you.
Don't worry about me, Ponset. I'll make out. Now I'm taking your gun and your horse.
There are plenty other horses here.
I'm taking yours.
Wyatt.
Shut up, or you'll get a taste of these broncs.
Well, there wasn't any point of my arguing about it, not with a pitchfork digging into my chest. So I waited until he reached out a hand for my gun, and then I gave that saddle a little toss. Caught him right in the neck. He went over backwards. I started to go for my holster, but Wyatt stuck out the handle of that pitchfork, and the next thing I knew, I was down on the floor beside him. banged his fist into my face, and I felt his hands go for my throat. I managed to get up on a knee and flipped him over. I hoisted myself onto my knee, but he let loose with a kick, and I went flat again. I got a glimpse of his boot coming into my face, and I just got out of the way in time. And then he missed me and almost lost his balance, and I had time to get on my feet again. Came charging in with both fists again, and one of them whipped past my ear, and the other one smashed into my shoulder. And that left him wide open. I just couldn't leave him lying there on the floor unconscious. I figured it wouldn't be very long before he came to, so I picked him up and carted him across the street to where he belonged. The jail was completely deserted, and there wasn't a sign of anybody, but the door to Wyatt's cell was unlocked, so I laid him on the cot inside and pulled the blanket up over him. I didn't want him to catch cold or anything like that. And I found the key in the front office, and I locked him in. Hey, Jonas. Hold up a minute, Jonas.
Mr. Ponce, what? I thought you'd left town.
I'm leaving right away, Jonas, right away. That is, if you'll do me a little favor.
A favor?
Yeah, you're through for the day with the bank, aren't you?
Oh, yes. We close at 4 o'clock sharp. I'm on my way home now.
Well, I was wondering if you'd mind putting off your supper a little bit.
Well, Matilda,
until the posse comes back, that is.
What for, Mr. Ponce?
Well, you see, I was over at the jail just a minute ago, and there's nobody over there watching things while the sheriff's out of town.
Well, I don't see what difference it makes. Wyatt King was the only prisoner, and he's escaped.
Yeah. But even so, now suppose somebody were to break in. They could do a lot of damage, The sheriff's probably got some important papers in the file.
No, Mr. Ponce.
No, but you never know, Jonas. You never know about things like that.
Well, I guess the sheriff should have locked up when he left, but I don't see what...
Well, then you won't mind holding down the fort while he's gone.
Well, Well, as long as there aren't any prisoners to look after.
I just wouldn't feel right about running off if there wasn't somebody to mind the jail.
Well, Mr. Ponce, it sure seems to me like you're worrying unnecessarily, but... Well, I guess I can do that much for you.
Thanks, Jonas. I really appreciate it. All you have to do is sit in the front office until somebody shows up.
All right, Mr. Ponce. I'll get right over there.
So long, Jonas. Good luck to you.
Yeah. Oh, Mr. Ponce.
Yeah?
I hope you aren't put out about my letting folks think it was you who shot Wyatt King last night.
Oh, I guess I'll get over it.
After all, sometimes it is best if a man takes a responsibility for something, even if he hasn't done it himself.
What? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I guess that is, yeah. Well, I'll be seeing you. I tell you what, I got out of Copper Springs fast as I could. I just wasn't sure how things were going to work out. But then a couple of weeks later, a copy of the Copper Springs Press caught up with me. And there was Jonas Pilgrim's picture all over the front page. Yes, sir. Great big article telling how the sheriff and his posse had come back to town without finding a trace of Wyatt. And there he was, right in the jail. And there was Jonas Pilgrim snoozing in the front office, calm as a cucumber. Modest Pilgrim, that's what the paper called Jonas. He said he'd tried to deny having anything to do with Wyatt's capture, but the folks in Copper Springs, they just hadn't believed him. Well, it was plain as day that he'd taken Wyatt single-handed. Well, like Jonas said, sometimes it's best for a man to take the responsibility of the thing, even if he hasn't done it.
The Six-Shooter is a transcribed NBC Radio Network production in association with Review Productions. It is written by Frank Burt and is based on a character created by him. Mr. Stewart may currently be seen in the Universal International picture, The Glenn Miller Story. Others in the cast were Bill Johnstone, Herb Vigran, Junius Matthews, Barney Phillips, and Joel Cranston. Special music for this program was by Basil Adlam, and the entire production is under the direction of Jack Johnstone. All characters and incidents were fictitious, and any resemblance to actual characters or incidents is purely coincidental. Oh, by the way, you'll be interested in knowing that the six-shooter has been chosen for broadcast to our men overseas through the facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Services. This is John Wall speaking. MacDonald Carey stars in Jason and the Golden Fleece tonight on the NBC Radio Network.
That's a fun show. I want to see if I can find some more copies of Jason and the Golden Fleece. 71 years ago, May 20th, 1954, The Six-Shooter here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Visit our webpage at classicradio.stream to support the podcast. Coming up next, we're going to Crazy Town with Arch Oboler.
Do you know how old the school building in your community is? If it's over 25 years old, the chances are that it's woefully inadequate. Join with the groups in your community working for better school conditions. Remember, better schools build a stronger America.
Arch Oboler could write chillers. I mean, he wrote such wonderful chilling shows. He could also write heartwarming shows, but this isn't one of those. This is going back 86 years to May 20th, 1939. Arch Oboler's plays and the story of Crazy Town.
Arch Oboler's plays. On the winds of the night, we bring you a story whispered in the night.
Let the democratic powers have no illusions. We cannot be intimidated. We are ready. Our manpower is ready. Our youth stands ready. Invite the youth that has been tried and tested into the proving grounds, even as our armaments have been tested. A youth that understands the meaning of discipline, order, dynamic obedience to the leader and to the state. A youth that laughs with all of us at the weak decadence of democratic liberalism. A youth that lives, dares, does, the skies sing with their wings, the wings of courage and daring, bringing the truer civilization and liberty to people who wait for it eagerly and with hope. Yes, I repeat, even now, the skies sing with the wings of daring and ambition and glory.
Hello.
Yes, Captain?
Isn't that the village?
No, I don't think so.
It is, I tell you.
But, Captain, the order says the village was won by a water hole. I see no water down there.
What is the difference?
For the orders.
I'm giving your orders. Drop down 500 feet. I don't want to miss the beggars.
As you say, Captain.
They're all the same anyway. What's the difference if it is another village? We need all our petrol to get back. All right. Level off. Hold it. 2 little presents and home we go non-stop. I never disappoint a lady.
Should I keep circle?
Of course. Of course. This is the moment I like, Marlowe. My hand on the release lever. The leader is right. Power is the greatest thing in the world.
I know it is another village.
Marlowe, you're a fool. What difference does it make? The orders were to teach them a lesson. Well, one village is like another. Those beggars down there are of the same breed. Hold it steady. The lesson begins. There. And again. Climb!
order said we were to machine gun the mountain.
Machine gun what? 2 holes in the ground? Home, you old woman, and fast. She is very pretty, and not quite a lady.
And let all the world hear the contribution of our youth to the civilizing forces is one which all history will remember. It is an evidence of the revitalization of great ideals, the true ideals of power and force and the everlasting glory of righteous might. Youth, our glorious youth, flying free in its newfound purpose and nobility. We salute you! We salute you!
Captain. Captain, wake up.
What do you want?
The wireless is not working again.
Huh?
If you will take over, I will fix it.
All right. Fog, huh? Marlow.
Yes, Captain.
When did the fog come up?
While you were asleep.
I do not like fog. Well, haven't you got that wireless going yet?
It is no use.
Huh?
Resistance burned out. There is nothing I can do. The fog grows thicker.
I have eyes, haven't I? Here. You take over.
I was expecting that.
Shut your mouth. Here. Take over.
All right. Captain, do you remember the time in the Plaza of Heroes they gave you a medal because...
Stop talking. Put her up high.
Might as well. No clear sky down here. Is this high enough for you, Captain? Or does it make you dizzy?
Are you out of your head?
When the fog grows very thick, you lose your head, eh, Captain?
Shut your mouth. I order it.
I was remembering something else. 6 months ago, when the Minister of War made you the captain. Remember in his speech, he said for courageous, skillful flying.
I warn you to stop talking.
For all these months, I wanted to ask you one question, Vittoria. Whose was the skill and whose was the courage? Yours? Mine.
When we are on the ground...
If we are on the ground, it will be with my skill. Mine. Look. The fog grows thicker and thicker.
Saying that.
You can see with your own eyes. Thick fog. Our wireless dead. If I turn the plane over to you now, would you be as brave as the medal says you are?
Close your mouth. For the last time, I tell you.
The brave Captain Victoria, who never flies alone.
Shut your mouth.
In the sun, it is your mouth that dares. In the fog, it is mine. A frightening thing, the fog, eh, Captain? Like something alive that comes out of the ground and tries to pull flyers down to the hole in hell where they come from.
Is there no way to close your mouth?
Why don't you blast a few holes now through the fog so we can see where we're going?
This is the last time you fly with me, Big Mouth. The last... Marlow.
Quiet.
Huh? Marlow, the port engine.
Cut the petrol.
What?
Petrol line broken. Close the valve.
Marlow, falling.
Get away from me.
Can't see anything. The fog.
Stop pulling at me, you fool.
Marlow, get me down. I don't want to die. I can't...
No, it's not a mark. Leave me alone. The fog.
See the ocean. We're crashing it. I won't die. I can't.
Wait. Look. What I saw. Yes. They're over land.
No, there is nothing.
There is land, I tell you. I saw it.
Yes. I see it. I am safe. I won't die. I will get down. I will.
Down.
Down. We're down.
Yes.
I told you I would get you out of this. I told you. Marlow! Ahead! The wall! Stop! The wall! Stop!
Head.
Victor. Victor. Victor.
What?
It's Marlowe. Where are you? So dark. Oh. I see you. Bed next to me.
Marlowe.
Victor. You all right?
My legs.
Legs?
Broke.
So. My own pain is less now.
Oh, don't talk. Help.
No, Victor. This honor is mine as well as yours.
Huh?
My legs, too.
You lie. You're all right. You want me to be in pain.
Stop it.
Jealous of my honors. You
Stop
always
it.
were.
Stop it. Who wants to listen to you? I want to know what I am. I want to know how badly our ship was hurt when we got here. For long I was unconscious.
I have the pleasure of answering your questions, good gentlemen.
Who in
Marlowe? Who's there?
I don't know. So dark.
My name, gentlemen, is Frederick Gibbon, doctor of medicine.
Doctor? Doctor. My legs, the pain.
Pain is quite secondary, believe me.
But you must stop it. At once. I order it.
Order?
Yes, order. You don't know who I am. I'm Captain Victor.
Wait. I assure you I know your identities quite well, good gentlemen.
What do you mean?
Your identification papers were quite in order. And now a little more light, perhaps?
Yes. It'll see you.
If you will pardon me.
No, stay. The pain.
Shut your mouth, will you? How can he help us until he brings light?
But the pain.
Pain. Did you expect to fall out of the clouds and wake up with the bands playing and a couple of women at your side?
How dare you?
You're a fool, Victor. Miracle happens to us. Smashing head on and then coming out of it with no more than broken bones. I tell you, it is a miracle.
The light.
Oh, that is good.
Only simple lanterns, but quite adequate, you'll agree.
Doctor, whatever your name is, I am Captain of Aviation. An active duty for the commander.
I told you, I know.
When you know your duty, set my legs. Do you hear me?
What is your business, gentlemen?
But you said you knew who I was. My identification papers. You said
yes,
it.
I said I knew who you were. But what is your business, gentlemen?
Aviators. I'm captain of...
Yes, a captain. But what is your business, Captain?
He wants to know what we do, Victor.
What is your business, gentlemen?
What is any aviator's business? To fly.
But why do you stand there talking? My legs broken. Fix them.
Did you stop to fix the bones, Captain? After you dropped the bombs on them? What do you know of that? Your plane was smashed quite badly, gentlemen, but not completely. Yes, there were two miracles.
What do you mean?
What are you talking about?
That the crash did not kill either of you, and that one small messenger of your civilization that was strung to the belly of your plane did not blast you to death. Bomb. It fell to the ground undamaged, unbroken, all of its explosive virility quite intact inside of its metallic loins. Poetic that, eh?
One of my bombs.
Yes. One of your bombs. Quite unhurt.
But I'm hurt. Do you hear me? Fix my leg. Stop the pain.
But why? We here are like you, gentlemen. If bodies are broken, if pain is given, we go our calm way. We do not stop. Good day, gentlemen.
Wait. Marlowe, make him wait.
Wait, Doctor.
Doctor, come back. You can't leave me. Come back. I'm hurt. In pain. Help me. Are you crazy?
Yes, Captain. Yes, indeed. I am.
All right, Victor. All right. The pain. It grows less and less. pain cannot go on forever. My legs are quite numb now. Yours will become that way, too.
The devil.
Strange day, this, huh? You and I were born of the devil to smash up and have a crazy man come to our rescue.
What time is it?
Time? Who knows?
That crazy old fool. Why does he want to
Do not stop asking me why again, Victor. All night I have been thinking those whys, and I know less than when I started. The man is crazy, that's all. When one is crazy, there are no whys.
You can't keep me here. Not me. I'll kill him.
Wait. Listen. People. Yes. Must be a street right below the window.
Get to the window, Marlowe. Get help.
If I throw something through the glass. Yes, the lamp.
No, stop.
Huh?
You'll bring that crazy devil up
It's
here.
our only chance.
No. He'll kill us. Do not throw it. I will. Hit it. Yes, you did. Good, Marlowe. Good. Now, someone will come up here to help us. And that old devil, I will have him put away where he was. Huh?
Listen. I throw something through the glass, and everything below becomes quiet.
Why should that be?
Wait. Listen.
Like someone raising a ladder against the wall.
Yes.
Someone is coming. They'll help me.
Why a ladder?
You think it's the crazy?
You must have heard the glass breaking. Climbing up here to laugh at us.
No, it can't be him. My legs. I've got to have help. Daniel, I'll scream.
Stop that! Look. Head coming up. Who?
No, it's not the crazy one. A girl.
Yes.
Come in, girl. Come in.
We need your help.
Yes, help. Call the police. Aviators. I am the aviator.
Come in, girl. We will not hurt you.
Don't sit there on the windowsill and stare at us, you fool. Don't you understand? I'm Captain Victoria.
Wait, Victoria. Wait. You frighten her. Come closer, girl. Closer. Look, my watch. I will give you this watch.
Pretty. You will give it to me?
Yes, of course he will. Give it to her, Marlowe. Here, girl.
Pretty. You have other pretty things for me?
Yes. Here. Rings. My rings. There. Take them. Get help. Get me out of here.
Pretty. Oh, pretty. Pretty.
You simple little fool. Try to understand. Get me help.
Get me out of here.
Pretty things. I like pretty things.
We'll get you plenty of pretty things. Cover you with them. Just go back the way you came and get help for me. Quickly.
I had so many pretty things.
Yes, but hurry, girl. Go quickly. Get me help.
I want more pretty things.
In my pocket, huh? I'll see. It hurts so to move. I have nothing. Marlowe, you give her...
Oh, you know I cannot move.
Pretty wings.
Yes, the wings on my tunic. You can have them. Here.
Pretty.
Now go. Do you hear? Go get help.
Will they take these away from me, too?
What is she talking about?
I don't know.
I had so many pretty things. They took everything away. All my pretty things. It dropped from the sky. And when it was gone, everything was gone. Everything was gone.
Stop crying. Who took what away from you?
From the sky. From the sky.
Marlowe. This one's crazy too.
good gentlemen, it is time again to talk.
I'll kill you, I'll kill.
You know, that's why I like you, Mallow.
Well?
Your captain is so overly dramatic. Kill you, he says to me. It is quite foolish and unnecessary, don't you think so?
You devil, you're keeping me here, not getting help. What are you trying to do? Cripple me for life?
I am doing nothing.
What are you going to do with us?
Money. I'll get you money. Just get me out of here. Money.
In this community, those silly little pieces of paper and metal are quite useless.
Ah, you're crazy.
True enough. But haven't either of you discovered the greater truth?
Truth? What truth?
That everyone in this community is crazy.
Everyone? Crazy?
Oh, yes, indeed.
It cannot be.
But it is.
No, you're the only one.
How many times must I say it? This is my community, and we are all quite mad.
Where are we?
Or normal, all depending on the viewpoint.
Where is this place?
That's my little secret.
Secret? What do you mean?
Quite a long way from your civilization, and a high wall circles us. Remember, your airplane crashed into it?
Oh.
You see, my dear gentlemen, a long time ago, the people of what was once known as the normal world decided that I wasn't quite normal, so they were going to put me away. But I escaped them. Oh, quite cleverly. And I decided to make a world of my own. That is, a world normal to me.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's simple. In a community where all men are mad, none are mad. Understand?
Get us out of here.
Quiet, Victoria. Listen to him.
Yes, listen to me. What was I saying? Oh, yes. So I discovered this place, and I settled here. But after a while, I grew quite lonely. And I thought to myself, why shouldn't I find others like myself? People again, I use the phrase, people the so-called normal world called abnormal. But it was quite difficult to find enough of them and to get them to come to my little utopia. Until you fixed it.
We? Madman. What have we to do with you?
I mean you and your kind. Remarkable how many people in this world became abnormal as soon as your sort began to... What is the word you use? Began to enlighten the world.
Marlowe, make him stop talking.
No, I want to hear him.
Yes, hear me out. Remarkable how many people became like I am as soon as the enlightenment of brutality and conquest and domination, and above all, the enlightenment of flying bombs came upon them. Oh, I soon had more than enough candidates for my little community. Yes, indeed.
You can't keep us here.
No, not me, you can't.
But you surprise me, good gentleman. This is the ideal place for you.
What does he mean?
I mean that here in my little crazy town, we live and love and kill as our fancy strikes, without even the necessity of slogans and catchphrases with which to quiet the conscience. Oh, you'll want to stay with us, gentlemen.
Not me.
I won't stay here, you crazy old devil, you.
But are you so different, gentlemen?
I'm sane.
And so am I.
But your business, Captain. Is it sane to fly the skies, to bring death to creatures made in your own image? To kill women and children?
We do our duty.
No man has a duty beyond what he knows is right. And since you do what you do, it must be because you believe it is right to kill and destroy, with no more reason than the dictum of ambitious, power-mad men. So I assure you, gentlemen, you are one of us. And so you will stay.
No, you can't keep me here.
Against our will.
Yes, your legs will mend, so you must want to stay. For if you go and give away our little secret, that would be most unfortunate for the rest of us. Oh, it's very definite, good gentlemen. You must want to stay.
Not in a mad house.
Not me.
Gentlemen, good gentlemen, you make me weary and angry explaining. I tell you, you and yours are like us. The Prince of Normal Men said, "Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth." And you say, "Blessed are they that take with force." So how can you be normal?
If I had a gun...
A gun. Now, that's another thing. The Prince of the Normal said, blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. And you say, blessed are the war makers. Now that proves that you're like us.
Stop it! It's out of
He
here!
said, blessed are they that are persecuted for righteousness' sake, and blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and say all manner of evil against you. But you are the persecutors, good gentlemen, so you are one of us. I welcome you. We all welcome you. Come in, ladies and gentlemen.
Who are they?
Tell us who are they?
They are like you, the nobility of unreason. They have come to welcome you, gentlemen.
Hello. What? So dark. Leaving it for hours. The devil in hell, what is he up?
Shut your mouth. If I go crazy, it will be you driving me to it.
You know, the crazy ones. Bringing us here and leaving us. Planning our death. I know it. Marla, tell me. What are they up to?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know!
What's that?
What?
Someone came into the room.
No. No one.
Listen.
I hear. Who's there? Who's there? Woman. Yes. Who are you? What do you want? Victoria.
What is she saying?
I don't know. She... What is it? What? Something in her arms. I can't see anything, so dark. Oh, no. I'm not afraid of her. The child. The child in her arms. Oh, come closer, woman.
What do you want her for?
She can help us. Closer. Woman, closer. Woman, stop moaning to that child and listen. Listen. Help us get out of here, and we'll give you money. We'll give... Victoria, what? In her arms. Look. I can't twist around my leg. Woman, get away. Get away.
Victoria, what is it?
What? Arms.
You said the child.
No. Woman, get away.
Tell me what?
Bomb.
Eat it, Bomb.
Bomb. You have gone mad.
No.
Now see for yourself, see. Oh! The bomb he told us fell from our plane without exploding.
All right, woman, get out of here with that thing. Get out.
Get out with that woman, get out. You set it off. You get off.
No.
Yes.
Wait, reason with her. Woman, what are you saying? Why do you carry that bomb?
Baby. My baby.
Baby. No, it's a bomb. You hear me? A bomb.
Baby.
Put it down. If it goes off, it will kill you.
My baby. My baby. Something fell from the sky that day.
Victoria, she's crazy too.
Oh, this is my baby now.
No.
My little baby.
No.
Baby.
Don't touch the percussion head. It will go off.
Marla, get up. Take it away from her. My legs, I can't move. No, don't touch it, woman. Don't.
Tonight's play, Crazy Town, was especially written for radio by Arch Oboler and featured Edmund O'Brien, Charlotte Manson, Paul Stewart, John Brown, and Betty Kane.
Arch Oboler's shows had so much anti-war and anti-fascism in it, particularly during World War II. And don't forget, just because this was before the U.S. entry into World War II in 1939, World War II was already raging through much of Europe. Oboler believed war propaganda should instill hatred of the enemy rather than just rallying the troops. Some argued he went too far in his characterizations of Germans and Italians there as villainous, bloodthirsty, thick-accented antagonists. Some corporate radio sponsors shunned him, but after the attack on Pearl Harbor, they embraced him. Plays for Americans aimed to stimulate the American people to the importance of the war effort by indirection rather than direct appeal. And in fact, Oboler did a very compelling adaptation with Jimmy Cagney of the infamous anti-war book, Johnny Got His Gun. And the way he wrote it, my goodness, it was amazing. Arch Oboler's plays from 86 years ago today, May 20th, 1939, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. We'll check in a moment with Peg Lynch, Alan Bunce. They're the couple next door.
Daily, the broadcasts of Radio Free Europe and Radio Free Asia strike through the Iron Curtain, bringing the truth about the free world to the captive peoples behind it. Help send a message by giving to the 1952 Crusade for Freedom.
Now let's check in with Peg Lynch and Alan Bunce. They were first Ethel and Albert in the private lives of Ethel and Albert. CBS took over the show, and they just became the couple next door.
CBS Radio brings you The Couple Next Door, written by Peg Lynch and starring Peg Lynch and Alan Bunce.
Don't you think you ought to come in the house, dear? It's almost dark. You can't see to work in the garden anymore tonight, you know.
I know. I was just gathering up some of the tools to put them away. Oh, boy, my back.
Oh, is it bothering you again?
No. Just not used to this, that's all. Good for me. Hey, why don't we ask somebody over tonight? Maybe Ann and Jack, play a little bridge?
Oh.
We haven't played bridge for ages.
Yeah, well, they're going to Chicago.
Ann and Jack?
Mm-hmm, Ann and Jack.
They are? When?
Yeah, tonight.
They're going to Chicago tonight? What for?
No reason. I guess Ann just decided she had to get away for a couple of days, and she finally persuaded Jack to...
Oh, why Chicago?
Well, I think Ann has a great aunt or something in a home there. She felt she ought to visit her. So, Ann said she didn't, care really where they went, but she just wanted to get away, so they got somebody to stay with the children. They're catching the midnight
really?
flight.
For heaven's sakes. That's what we ought to do once in a while, I guess. Get away.
We were in Europe over 4 months last year. I call that getting away,
Well,
dear.
I know, sure, but I think sometimes parents ought to get away from their children more.
Well, what a thing to say.
No, look, it does everybody good to get away from each other once in a while, even husbands and wives. I mean, you ought to get away from me.
Oh, that's so. Well, I don't want to get away from you.
Well, honey, that's nice, but you'd appreciate me more, when you got back. There's something to be said for separate vacations.
Yes, and you generally say it. But I notice when it comes right down to taking separate vacations, the one time we were going to do it, who backed down? Who said no indeed? No wife of his was gadding off without him, huh?
Me.
Yeah.
I said that.
Yeah, you said.
Oh, there's the phone. Look, you better get back in and get it, honey. I've got to put the spades and things away here, so...
Oh, so they probably stop ringing before I get in. It always does, Yes, I'm coming.
Oh, who's on the phone?
Oh, I don't know. Out of breath, I raced back in the house, and just as I got here, it gave one last pling and stopped ringing.
Oh?
Oh, it makes me so mad it does that, sure. Did you get the garden tools put away?
Yeah, oh, yeah, sure.
Oh,
there it is.
Hello? Hi, Ann. Well, I was standing right by the phone. Did you call before? Oh, it was Ann.
Thought you said she and Jack had gone to Chicago.
Yes. Well, yeah, I thought you and Jack were leaving tonight for Chicago.
What?
Oh, no.
What?
Oh, really? Oh, isn't that typical of a man to put business before pleasure? Yeah. Uh-huh. Huh? Oh, no. No, I couldn't. Oh, Anne, I just couldn't. Well, a million reasons to begin with. No.
Where's the evening paper?
Well, Anne, I couldn't. To begin with, what about my children? Well, I know, but I couldn't leave him alone all weekend with the children. I just couldn't. No, I really couldn't.
You talking about me?
No, I really couldn't. Well, he'd go crazy trying to cope with 2 children for 2 days, and I just didn't have the heart to do it.
You talking about me? Honey.
Oh, Anne, no, I really can't. Yeah, I know, but just... Yes, I'm talking about you now. Yes, Anne. Now, listen, I'm being practical to begin with. I'm not ready.
What does she want you to do?
No, I haven't any... I know,
what
but
does she want you to do?
Hold on, Anne. Jack can't go after all. Some business. He has to stay home. And Anne wants me to fly to Chicago tonight. In 3 hours for the weekend.
Well, honey, why don't you? Look, it would do you good, for Pete's sakes. We were just saying a while ago it did everybody good to get away once in a while. Now, why don't you do it?
I'm not ready. Look at my hair. I'm not packed. I don't even know what to take. And leave you with the children for 2 days?
So what? Is that so terrible? After all, I am their father.
Well, I didn't mean that, dear, but it's a lot of work. I mean, cooking and dishes. I mean, you're not used to it at all.
Give me the phone.
No, I will. No, now this I'm not going.
Hello.
Now, wait a minute.
Hello, Anne. Anne, she will go.
No, I'm not going.
Yes.
No, I'm not.
I say so. It'll do her good.
Now wait.
Yes.
Wait. Let's talk it over and see if
there
it's
is no time to talk it over. Now, go on. Get upstairs and start packing. Go on. I am telling you.
Really?
And now, exactly what time does the plane leave?
Stockings. I'll need extra stockings. Here, put those in. I tuck them in the shoes, and my brown shoes, too. Let's see, I guess I'll take my navy blue shoes.
Honey, why are you taking so much stuff? You'll be gone 2 days.
Just put things in, will you? Please. I mean, if you're going to help me pack, as you said, just put them in.
All right, now I'm warning you, I'm never going to wear all these clothes. Just once. Can't you go someplace without taking every single darn thing you own?
I'm not taking every single darn thing I own at all. I'm just taking the things I'm going to... Oh, look at my hair.
Oh, your hair looks fine. As far as I can figure out, the only things you aren't taking are your kitchen aprons.
I thought you were going to help me pack now instead of standing there criticizing. Just put things in the suitcase
now. Let me tell you something. Anne is wearing a suit and taking one dress.
Well.
One dress. She said it was her green silk print, that you knew which one that was.
Yes, I do.
That is all she is taking now.
Well, that's what she said.
I mean, silly.
Oh, I can't decide. I'm not sure I even want to go. You're so anxious to get rid of me, apparently, that I just feel I have.
No, now, don't be that way, honey. I just figure it'll do you good, that's all.
I don't enjoy rushing off someplace at a moment's notice. I like to plan things and know what I'm doing. This business of frantically showering, getting dressed and packing and rushing off, I'll get there and find I didn't put in the one thing I have to have,
Well, I don't know what it could be. You got enough clothes here for a trip around the world and
like taking the wrong shoes or the wrong hat or no gloves. Gloves. Oh, where is my glove box?
Oh, now, honey, will you calm down?
White gloves.
Stop rushing around.
Not my navy
You have got
blues.
an hour and a half before you have to be at the airport. Now, why don't you just relax and enjoy the idea of getting away and doing these... Take it easy, honey. Relax, enjoy it. And
I guess some people enjoy this last-minute business, but I really don't. Anne does. She said to me, oh, come on, you only live once. It's more fun anyhow. She said to do things on the spur of the moment. Well... I guess I'm more practical. I really am.
I know.
I like to plan, know what I'm
doing.
You're
certainly doing it. All right, now
let's see.
I said to her, where will you girls be staying? And she said, I don't know. I hadn't thought. Anne says, Jack and I never worry about things like that, so we hadn't made reservations.
She said what?
She hadn't made reservations.
You mean Anne and I are going to arrive in Chicago late at night and we won't know where we're going to stay?
Well, don't worry. I said to her, why don't you girls stay at the Castleton Arms Hotel? Where I always stay when I'm in Chicago? She said, all right, fine. She didn't care. Be all right with her.
Here, put in my cosmetic case. Well, I guess I'll need a robe of some kind. My thin summer one. I guess I'll take that. That's easy to pick. Castleton Arms? Is that nice?
Oh, yeah. Very nice. Very nice. The one where I've got a few shares of stock, that I own there. Where... You taking these shoes, too?
Yes, put them in. What do you mean? You have some shares of stock in a hotel in Chicago?
Now, darling, honestly, you knew that. You knew that perfectly well. Also have some in an office building there. Actually, it doesn't amount to much. Somebody talked me into them when I had my first job. I'd saved a little money, and I guess I like the idea of owning some stock. Made me feel like a big financier.
Yeah, I guess you did tell me. The minute people start talking about stocks and bonds, I'm lost. You know me and my arithmetic. Here, tuck another pair of stockings in that shoe, will you?
Darling, stocks and bonds are a little more than just arithmetic. Anyhow, that's why I always stay there at the Castleton Arms. Feel I have a little personal interest.
Well, I should think so.
Yeah, just to make sure those dividends keep rolling in, and put a little money in our pocket.
Oh, my goodness, I knew you always stayed there, but it never occurred to me why you did.
Oh, well.
Which shows how dumb I am.
Yeah.
Here, put in this plastic raincoat. You never know.
Yeah.
Might rain.
Now, look, I'll either wire or phone Chicago to make reservations
Oh,
for
will you?
So, I'll do it.
Fine.
So don't worry about
Well, now, what if they're full up? What if we can't get in?
it. Can't get in, to a hotel that I practically own? Now, stop worrying. I regret to say, I'm sure there are plenty of rooms available. Anyhow, I've stayed there.
So they know you.
Well, they should.
Well, I should say so. You probably get very good service, don't you?
Well, as a matter of fact, the service is good. Yeah, very good. Look, do you expect to get that suitcase closed for pizza? Would you look at it?
I am taking a lot, aren't I, for 2 days?
Honey, will you do me a favor? No, seriously. Now, just once. Go on a trip with one small suitcase.
But it means unpacking all this and packing another.
All right, well, travel light for once. Now, look, you got your suit on. Now, get your hat, your purse, your shoes, and gloves that go with it. Then, in your small overnight bag, just take your cosmetics, your nightie and slippers, and that thin blue silk dress that doesn't wrinkle. And, look, one extra pair of shoes. Just one, honey. Then, take...
These right here,
All right.
Go with my blue dress,
with your blue dress, yeah.
But I haven't time to redo all that. I've got to make out a list of things for you about the meals and the children and all that
Go
sort of
make
thing.
your list.
Dear.
I will pack the overnight bag. I can do it. Will you trust me? Will you just trust me? I am fairly intelligent, competent, regardless of what you think.
I haven't much choice. Are you sure I should go?
Make out your list. The children and I will get along just fine.
All right, I'll keep track of the time now so we can call a taxi. Where can the taxi be?
Will you quit looking out the window, sit down, and relax? There's plenty of time. All right. Now, you got money?
Yes, you just gave it to me.
Well, I just want to make sure you still have it.
Doesn't seem right to leave you and the children. Now, here's a list of things to cook for Bobby that he especially likes, dear. Don't lose it.
Honey, will you stop worrying? We'll hang out just fine. In fact, I think it's going to be kind of fun.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Well, I don't like to disillusion you, but I think after 2 days of 2 children every minute, you'll be happy to see me come home.
Well, it'll be an experience anyhow.
I'll say it will.
All right, now check your purse and make sure you got the money that I gave you.
Oh,
just check.
Yes, dear, I know that I... Oh, it isn't here. Well, it isn't here.
I just gave it to you.
I know, and I put it in my wallet, and my wallet isn't here. I had it right in
look
my
around,
purse
look
right
around.
Here.
Now, all right, now we were standing out here in the hall when I gave it to you.
Yes,
now,
but I'm sure I put it right in my purse. Oh, never. Here it is. Here it is. Yeah, it was in my purse, dear. Way down at the bottom.
Boy,
I'm sorry.
I tell you women, honestly.
Sorry, dear. Well, I won't need a lot of money anyhow, especially since it won't be costing us anything to stay at the hotel.
All right, there it is. There's the taxi coming up the drive. All right.
Where's my coat, my overnight bag?
Yeah, wait a minute. What did you say?
My coat, my bag. Hurry up, dear. Come on.
Wait a minute. No, you said something else. What about the hotel?
What? Oh, I don't know. There's the taxi. Now, don't forget to wire or phone the hotel in Chicago and make our reservation.
Oh, yes,
so
that's what you said. All right, I will. Don't worry. All right, now take your coat. I got your overnight bag. Take it. Come on.
I've got it. Wait a minute. I don't want you to kiss me goodbye in front of the taxi driver, dear.
Oh, well, good heavens, no. What would he think of us?
Goodbye, darling. When I come home Monday, I'll have presents.
Oh, fine, but now, you don't need to spend all the money I gave you.
Well, I won't. That's what I said. But I certainly have to bring a present home to my influential financier husband who owns a hotel he lets us stay in. What would you like for a present,
huh? I don't know. Just bring me home a surprise. Huh?
I will, dear. I will. Goodbye, darling.
Goodbye, darling.
Oh, come on. My coat? Oh, I've got it. My bag.
Yeah,
I've got my bag, dear.
Come on. Have a good time. All right,
I
now
will,
take
dear.
it easy.
I will. I've got my...
The Couple Next Door stars Peg Lynch and Alan Bunce.
65 years ago, May 20th, 1960, Peg Lynch and Alan Bunce, The Couple Next Door. Join us tomorrow for a number of shows from Sunday, May 21st, 1950, including Lucille Ball, Richard Denning as My Favorite Husband, Our Miss Brooks starring Eve Arden, the Phil Harris Alice Faye Show as Phil tries to get his driver's license renewed, Archie Andrews and the new TV set coming into town, but that was from 1949. And we'll wrap it all up with an episode of Lum and Abner and some of that war propaganda we were talking about earlier, where Lum and Abner are stressing contributing to the USO. That's all coming up on our Wednesday Classic Radio Theater. We'll see you tomorrow. I'm Wyatt Cox.